Hello, here is an example how to simplify this famous ratio when f of x is a fraction. So the first thing we need to do is plug in the values and then we set up the ratio. So what we have over here is the following, that f of x minus f of a over x minus a is equal to, we have a so-called complex fraction over here, or compound fraction. So you put f of x over here as x over x plus 2, and then subtract, replace x by a, then we have a over here and a plus 2. And the denominator, just copy x minus a, right? So the next step we need to do is just add the numerators up using the common denominator. So we draw this long line and we have x minus a in the denominator. And because we have x plus 2 in the first fraction and a plus 2 in the second expression, in the second denominator, so our common denominator over here, we're going to draw a line that's a little bit shorter, and then the common denominator is x plus 2. Make sure you put a pair of parentheses over here, and then a plus 2 over here. And then on top, for the first one, we have x times a plus 2. Make sure. And you can still see that if you cancel these two terms, you again get the first one. And then minus, for the second one, is a times x plus 2. Now, it looks complicated, but this is really the same thing as, say, how do we do 1/3 minus 1/5? And we know the common denominator is just a product, 3 times 5, and on top we have 5 minus 3. This is exactly the same thing. So now what do? We need to multiply this numerator over here out and simplify, but we do things step by step. So we do over here, copy x minus a, and then here we have x plus 2 and a plus 2, and in the numerator we have over here have x a and plus 2x. Just be very careful when you distribute negative a to x and 2. You're going to have negative ax and also negative, this is very important, negative 2a. Okay, and then you can see these two terms cancel out, and then we have 2x minus 2a in the numerator. Now some of us would say, okay, you're dividing x minus a is really multiplying by 1 over x minus a. So this is the same thing as 2x minus 2a over and x plus 2. And just to be very careful what you do over here, and this is multiplied by 1 over x minus a. Okay, and then you can see you can factor 2 out, and then this is going to be 2 over here. So what you have is over here is 2, and then you have x minus a over here, and you can see a common denominator, and then you have x plus 2 and a plus 2 and x minus a. Once you see now you have a common factor in the numerator and the denominator, then you can cancel these two, and your answer is going to be 2 over x plus 2 and a plus 2. So that's going to be your simplified expression for this ratio. Okay. Now here, this is not really the one that we did in class. So let's try a different one and try to see if we can get this type of simplification. So let's look at, say, we have g of x over here. Let's use a different expression. Let's say we have 3 over say x plus say 1 over here, and we want to find out what's gonna be this g of x minus g of 2 and divided by say x minus 2. Let's try to do this, simplify this, and we do the same thing. We copy x plus 1 over here and then plug in the values 3 over x plus 1 and minus g of 2, so we have 3 over 2 plus 1. Okay. And because we have a number over here, we can actually simplify. This is equal to x plus 1, and then this is 3 over x plus 1 and minus 1. And we still follow the same procedure. We're going to actually add up the fractions in the numerator. This is x plus 1 over here, and then this is 3 over x plus 1, and this one over here is going to be x plus 1 over x plus 1. That's how we have a common denominator. Now, be very careful, because you see a lot of x plus 1s, they cannot cancel. The thing that if we follow the correct procedure, so this is going to be x plus 1, then on top we have the common denominator x plus 1, and then we have 3 minus x plus 1. It's crucial over here to put a pair of parentheses around x plus 1, otherwise we get an error. And then from here we remember that divided by x plus 1, this is another technique. We say we multiply these inner terms, and then 1 is multiplied by the top. So this is really what we have. And this is going to be x plus 1 times x plus 1. So it's x plus 1 squared. And then we simplify, and this is going to be x plus 1 squared, and on top is going to be 3 minus x, and then we have minus 1. Okay, and then we end up with the I think I got it wrong, because the common denominator I got it wrong. So let me go back and change. So the common denominator is the over here. That's over here. So now we have it's fine. Then what we have over here is going to be 2 minus x, and over x plus 1 squared. So that's the answer we have. All right, I think that's fine.